You get meals, laundry done, all the laundry and that, and linen, everything, supplied it, and it's really good. You could come and go any time you want, and yeah, it's pretty good. No, I used to live in West End, and yeah, it's pretty good there as well. Come and go anytime you want. Kitchen, I don't go into, cook for myself, and they cook it there for you, and dish it up, bring it out to you, like a restaurant. It's really good. Bathrooms, share, yeah, with other residents. Yeah, because rent agreement, I like a lease and that, and I didn't get it there when I got there that first day, and that. Then Danielle brought me here and then put me on you guys. Then I got the lease agreement, and Danielle took it off me and put it in the files, and yeah, so it's pretty good now. It's running really smoothly. Oh, get your free food and your medication on time, and that, it's pretty good. Oh, you're trying to know everyone there, and then new people, coming, it's really hard, you know? Yeah, I feel like I'm home. It's really good, because you're close to the Royal Brisbane Hospital, close to a little shop just up the road from us, and Servo petrol station, plus the transport bus shelter out and one on across the road from it. It's like come and go anytime you want. You get your own breakfast, cereal, then put it out, milk, sugar, tea, coffee. Yeah. See, hostel is what? It's like you got to be home at a certain time. If you stay out, you got to be in a certain time, or you lose out your room, and it's not fair on them, you know. If you get a late pass, that's okay. And when you get in, you got to press a button. They come open the door, let you in, go up to your room, go to bed, and that's it.
is Kate. I work for the Tenant Advice and Advocacy Service in North. I've been working for the service for 18 months now. My work focuses predominantly on supporting people who are living in boarding houses and rooming accommodation. One thing that I have noticed since I began this work is where the legislation applies to rooming accommodation. It tends to be a lot weaker than it is when it's applied to general tenancies. The Act, which is the Residential Tenancies and Rooming Accommodation Act 2008, allows a provider to issue a notice to a boarding house resident if they believe a serious rooming breach has occurred. The concern around this is that that boarding house resident could lose their tenancy, their home, and face homelessness. The concern with this though is that the legislation isn't specific when it comes to what is a serious rooming accommodation breach. An example of this was when I had the opportunity to support a boarding house resident who had been given a verbal notice and self-evicted as the provider believed that they had conducted a serious rooming breach. The boarding house resident went to exercise their rights and argue that this was not the case, in saying that they were threatened and felt that it was a retaliatory eviction. When the boarding house resident came down to visit us at the Tenant Advice and Advocacy Service, we were able to provide them with a support letter and assist them in writing a support letter to the provider, informing them that under the Residential Tenancies and Rooming Accommodation Act, it's actually against the law to self-evict, and that the resident was entitled to a notice with grounds for that eviction. So overall, the outcome of that was that the boarding house resident was able to continue to stay in their housing, which also eliminated a whole lot of stress and anxiety for that person who could have been facing homelessness. Saying that the Tenant Advice and Advocacy Service, not only do we support boarding house residents with things like self-eviction, but we support all tenant inquiries, particularly when it comes to things like bond disputes, or if a tenant is needing to go to the Queensland Civil and Administrative Tribunal, which can often happen if there is a conflict between a provider and a tenant, or a landlord, real estate agent and a tenant. So we're able to assist tenants with those situations. We're a free and confidential service, and we are located throughout Queensland, and you can find us under T in the white pages. So please feel free to contact us at any time if you have any concerns around your tenancy. Thank you.